Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to discuss with you for loop. It's a very important concept in programming, and if you understand it well, most of your problems are going to be resolved. So let's have a look at for loop. Here is this small program, and if I run this program, let's see what happens. So let me delete this extra brace, and if I run this program, it is going to print Missouri. If I want to print this 5 times, what will I do? I'll just copy it and I'll paste it 1, 2, 3 and 5 times. So if I run it now, it is going to print Missouri 5 times. What if I want to run this 10 times? So I'll just copy it and paste it like this and then run it. Well, it is printed it 10 times. What if I want to do it 100 times? Not 100, let's say 1000 times or maybe a million times. Well, if I'm going to copy and paste it like this, my life is going to become a hell. So there is a concept in all computer programming languages, but we are discussing Java. So let's say Java, and that is known as a loop. Okay, so I'll say this, and then I'll say supposedly I have to print it 10 times, less than or equal to 10, and I'll say here I plus plus, and a brace is always needed after the for loop. That is a good practice. And let's see what happens when I run this. Wow, it prints it 10 times. Okay, in the previous illustration I showed you, I had to copy and paste it 10 times. Now just see, if I have to do it 100 times, all I have to do is add one zero there, and you see my work is done. It has printed it 100 times. To illustrate it more clearly, I'll just add I here, and then when I run, you see that. Okay, so what is happening over here is, this is a loop construct. You see this, the whole thing, this is the loop and that is the body of the loop, and these braces are almost mandatory. Okay, it is a better practice if you use a brace after a for loop. That will basically help you in avoiding lots of errors. Here you have a variable I. It's a variable. I have declared it inside the loop. You can declare it outside as well. You can say int I is equal to 1 here. That is also allowed. Okay, or I is equal to, let's say, 0, and then I'll just do it this way. It's the one and the same thing. Okay, so if I run it, it will do the same still. Yes, right? So the initial value of I is 1, which means that the loop is going to start from 1, and then the value of I, it will go up to where? 100. And how will it reach 100? By adding 1 to I every time. Okay, so it starts from 1 and it has to go up to 100. That is where it is going to stop, and by adding 1 to I every time. So if I run it, you see what happens. Okay, so if I say start from 50, what happens now? See that it starts from 50, adding 1 to it every time, and it goes till 100 there. Okay, so here this is a loop, and this is basically the initialization, and this part is executed only once. Okay, so this is the condition to repeat the program block. Whatever you put between two braces is going to be repeated until the value of this becomes 10 in this case. So when this basically illustrates when the loop is going to stop. When the value of I becomes 10, the loop will stop. And what is this I plus plus? This is increment or decrement. It actually depends. So what is happening here is, if you look at it, the for loop is used for repeating the part of the program. Okay, so if the number of iterations are fixed, then for loop is recommended for use. What does it mean is once we do while and do while loops, because there are three loops in Java, then it will be very clear to you what is fixed number of iterations. Iteration means how many times a loop is going to, like in this case, it will take 10 rounds to print whatever you put inside the brackets. So 10 iterations this loop will have. Okay, so fixed number of iterations it has because we know what is the initial value 1 and what is when it is going to end 10. So it will go from 1 to 10. So we know what is the starting point and we know what is the ending point. Therefore, the number of iterations are fixed. So here, let's have a look at it once again. So I will show you another example. What do we mean by decrement? So just now we did increment by adding 1, but we can do decrement also. So if I say my starting point is 50 and I'm going to go up to 1, decrement. So we have to say greater than or equal to or greater than 1. Okay. And here I'll say minus minus. Let's see what happens now or what it actually prints. See that. It starts from where it says 50. Here the starting point is 50 here. So it starts from 50 and then it subtracts 1 from 50 every time. So first time 50, then 49, 48, 47, and it carries on until when it will carry on, as long as I is greater than or equal to 1. The moment I becomes 0, it is going to stop, right? We can change it further. We can also say I is equal to I minus